So yeah, many bodies chopped up, floating.
That was invigorating, wasn't it? What a fight. I think I took down
Crazy. Did you see the
6
one
of them.
whose head wouldn't stop popping back up?
I didn't spot that. I had my own things I was concentrating on, to be honest. Oh, but yeah. 6 undead monstrosities that will bother anyone no more. Oh, it was good stuff.
I'm sure
yeah.
the bonesmith will be very grateful to us.
Yeah, yeah. I hope he doesn't hold a grudge about that.
I thought necromancers did things like control skeletons and whatever.
Hey, look, I'm
I've
sure
never
you can
met
bring him
one.
back if he really wants to.
Great. How are we all doing? I'm pretty spent magic wise. I don't know that I could heal you up anymore, Obsidian.
All right. He spits blood.
Do
I feel
we
pretty good.
yeah, you seem it. Do we continue? Or like do we go back out or what?
I mean, maybe let's at least like have a little poke around. I mean, if there was anything else in here right now, it would have come. There were some that were bringing reinforcements. More came from the other rooms. I think we can afford to look around a little bit, you know?
All right. All right.
And he will start moving into this chamber.
So, you see in this room, the water sort of ends, and there is a bedroll on the floor with a few candles dotted around it, a lit candelabra. You can see here, well, standing candelabra, and a trunk on the floor. Clearly, this room has been lived in recently.
Well, this might have been where, I don't know, the base of operations is. There's a little bedroll and a trunk of some kind. I do feel like we've probably made an enemy if we've come into his base of operations and killed all his guards.
Are we sure this is his place? I mean, I'm not even sure we're in the right wing or whatever. Like this could be some squatter living here. And while I'm saying that, I'm leaning down and inspecting this chest. Does it appear trapped or does it just like whoever is squatting here store some gems?
If you're just having a glance at it, it doesn't look trapped.
I would like to have more than a glance.
Okay, then you can inspect it if you want to make an investigation check.
Cool. I'm so good at those.
Is everything else in this room basically just
As
ruins,
is,
more or less?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely no sign of visible traps, glyphs, wards, mechanisms.
Right. Nothing.
Nothing.
Like this, and like she's gonna pause and look around. Like I guess I envisioned him living in, I don't know, some hall made of bones and large fancy things. And I'm gonna go to open this chest.
Yeah.
See if it is in fact belongings.
While you're doing that, I'll take a moment to light up a torch so that I can also look around.
Yeah. You can macro it yourself, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 things inside this chest. Firstly, 48 fire damage in a 30-foot... No. There is a pouch, a scroll, and a blue chunk of metal with kind of a fish eye on the end, like a metal fixing.
Okay. I'm
I would
gonna
say for
take a look.
Asher's
Yeah.
having a look. Make me a what sort of check would I call this? Make me a perception check. DC 14.
Roll sense motive.
It's a bit weird seeing it out of context for a moment, but after a few moments inspection, you realise that this appears to be the head of a flail. But it is a vivid blue, quite crude in shape, but covered in extremely ornate runes and carvings. And there's a clear layer of frost on it.
Huh. Can I Arcana check it to see if well, it's got a layer of frost on it. It's magical.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna set that back in the trunk and just peer in the pouch.
Appears to just be full of ash.
Asher.
Okay, so components. Um, what can I check out what the scroll is and see if I can read what kind of scroll it is?
Yeah, at a quick glance, it's not magical. It looks like it is a recipe for a potion that is described as being called an elixir of deadly reprieve. And from a very quick glance of the foot, it involves some ingredients you haven't heard of before because I haven't decided them yet. But the quick description of the potion is a draft that renders the imbiber invisible to minor undead unless they take any aggressive action against them.
Cool.
So kind of a zombie pheromone, they won't notice you sort of potion.
Yeah. I'm going to like loudly say, all right, if anyone claims ownership to these, I will gladly give them back. But otherwise,
You know
finders
we're the only
keepers,
ones here,
so
right?
sorry.
What's Obsidian
What?
doing at the moment? He's lingering out in the combat area for me.
Obsidian is just catching his breath a little bit.
Okay.
Uninterested at the moment in just the prospect of trying to loot something. Just doesn't cross his mind too much. Focused on licking his wounds, as it were. Perhaps literally. Who knows?
Atticus, you see out ahead of you another stretch of church. To your right, you see steps that begin to descend down, but then just reach a point where, very quickly, where it's just flooded entirely and leveled off with swamp water.
Oh, they go down into a basement. Hmm. Hmm. Doesn't appear to be much else here. There are a couple of doors, but I think they lead to the outside. These are broken windows, are they not?
Yeah, they're so scummed over that it's difficult to see through them from this distance.
Yeah, I think there's a door to the north, a door to the south, which probably lead to the outside, but by the seams of it, there were undead down here just as there were up on the other side.
Everyone make a perception check.
Oh.
Asher and Atticus, you hear it in the same moment. A slight splash and disturbance of water. And glancing back to the steps down, you see emerging from the water a wet, pale, cloaked orc
Oh.
wading up out of the water, leading down into the cellar.
Oh, I will say, oh, hi, we were looking for you. Asher Vasher.
And he doesn't have a a spell fired up like his portrait, but just sort of tilts his head for a moment. Did you spare any of them?
I'm so sorry. I tried to call for you to try and maybe call them off, but clearly you were elsewhere. So no, we did have to fight. I, I am so sorry.
They seemed intent on fighting to the death.
Yes, they would be, unless told otherwise. Inconvenient. Did you...
Just a quick. I so sorry. We did bring a friend with us. He is maybe someone that you wouldn't normally get along with from what we've heard, and I just wanted to let you know now before any sparks fly. We do have a friend with us. And she's gonna kind of glance over to Florag.
Who would I not get on with?
Well, again, this is just rumor, so if I'm wrong, but we heard that you don't get along with anyone of kind of goblinoid types.
Preposterous.
Oh, well, great.
I couldn't care less.
Chlorag, you're good.
I'm sort of turning. The figure like sees Clorag in arena and just gives him a nod, and then his eyes move to his open chest. My.
Right. So sorry. Again, thought this place was abandoned, and she will take out the pouch of ash and the scroll and just hand them back over to him. Terribly sorry. I had no idea to think that you'd be under the water. Just very, very sorry.
And
Oh, I didn't take the metal piece.
did you not? Cool.
I left it in the trunk. No.
Understandable. What brings you here? If it is for corpses, I do consider myself to have laid claim to what is here.
Oh, we were actually in the area to try and take care of a dragon that has moved in, and I guess we're in the market for some allies willing to help us in that endeavor.
Yes, in the same way that we'd heard that you weren't a fan of the goblins locally, we also heard that you were not a fan of the winged one, as they like to call them.
This is true. I am indifferent towards goblinoids. But dragons, they are something else entirely. How many are your retinue?
Oh, it's us plus a little goblin outside and Obsidian just right there coming in right now.
A Scaleborn, I see.
Oh, and Siri, but I assume she's here.
Yeah, Siri's. Yeah.
She would be watching over the goblin, obviously.
I have not seen many of your kind, Scaleborn.
No. Not one for the mountains, then.
He smiles. Everyone make me an insight check.
Could be anything.
Asher, it's very much a smile of perhaps trying to suppress that in his eyes, Obsidian made a bit of a funny and wasn't aware of it. Indeed.
Happens a lot to Obsidian.
Indulge my curiosity. What is the link between your people and full dragons? Or is it a happenstance?
What do you
Is it just
mean by all
Obsidian?
that? Between my people, as
You
in
look, your visage
the
is...
Scalebones, as you say.
Yes.
I claim no direct connection.
Very well. How long have you stalked the Winged One? Also, this is where I
like
apologize to
today?
you. I do not take food, and therefore I have little to offer you.
Oh, you're fine. And she'll actually she'll kind of sit, kind of near this chair, seeing if she can make it work. And it's like nope. And she'll just kind of sit on the ground next to it and pull out some rations.
He'll open his trunk and put the scroll and the pouch back in there, and just sort of adjusts the flail head in position before closing it again.
I have to ask.
Sorry again.
You were in the basement, which is flooded. What's up with that?
The crypts held below, long since swallowed by the stinking mire. I was exploring for resources.
I see. And you care not for the air?
A convenience more than a necessity.
Considering that he has also said he doesn't take food, can I gather that he is undead?
He doesn't look it.
Okay.
Do you do that by a spell or a potion? Because that would be awesome if I could brew something up like that.
I serve one who has afforded me the ability to overlook such things.
Yeah?
His duties are great, and therefore the boons he grants in turn are great.
By serve, do you mean like you work with someone, or is it like a magic binding kind of thing?
The latter.
All right.
I am
Feeling like a
gifted.
little sad at the no potion.
I am privileged to be afforded his patronage.
Well, do you ever feel like going and fighting a dragon? Your ability to go underwater is would probably be helpful from what we've heard.
Why do you seek to destroy a dragon?
I mean, dragons corrupt the areas they're in. It's we've been hired
Yes.
by the local.
They do.
Well, exactly. The Rangers group. I forget what it's called. Where are you from, Marina? What's the group?
She's like a Cedar Watch.
The Cedar Watch. Yes, the Cedar Watch have hired us. We are representatives with an adventurers guild out of Athkatla. So we are on the job to rid the place of the dragon.
This is the city of coin.
The very same.
I have heard of it. What do you intend to do with the dragon's spoils?
I suppose
I think our plan is to survive first.
that is a good first step, admittedly. But I suppose divvy them up. I'm sure there's plenty to go around, and there's only so much that any of us can carry.
I will claim one item as my stake if I assist you.
Like a specific one, or just get your
Yes.
pick at the moment?
Why don't you tell us what that is before we agree to any terms?
A simple portion of a staff.
A portion of a staff.
Yes.
An item that you know the dragon has?
A heavy suspicion. If it does not, then I will claim no stake.
Is
I'll
it
just
a
look around at the others. I think that works for me.
a staff of particular renown, or
Not here, not to you, but it is why I was bidden here.
well, I mean, I think we'd have little use otherwise for it other than selling. So sounds reasonably fair to me.
And are you folk of your word, or must we swear upon a geas?
Oh, no, we can do like a pinky swear or something if you want.
He sort of pats at his pockets
Oh God.
and withdraws a gnarled, bony finger.
Yeah, she'll kind of, her eyes will widen a little bit, but then it's like kind of shrugs and all right, and she'll go up and do.
And
Pinky swear with him?
he offers it out to you.
All right, she will pinky swear with the. Of
The finger just grasps over yours,
course it does.
and you just feel a pulse of cold on your finger for a
Oh,
moment.
God damn it! Okay.
You do so swear, and I do so swear.
Yeah, there's that bit of the staff. You can have it if we defeat the dragon. I don't care.
Good. Good. This is most agreeable. I'm tired of this forest.
What was your name, by the way? I'm so sorry.
He tilts his head for just a moment. Gorabal.
All right, nice to meet you. Like I said, I'm Asher Basher. This is Atticus. That's Obsidian. That's Arena. And that's Clorak. And then we've got Rio and Sarai outside.
It is quite a troop.
Yeah, we keep accumulating people. It's turning into quite a party.
I mean, you can never have too few with such a mighty foe.
It's true.
Why do you hunt this dragon? You all reek of dragon. Have you already
We do.
encountered the beast?
What?
And he will point to the player characters.
We have slain its servants before. A whole ambush of goblins and such.
This is not what I mean.
Well, there was.
The latent magic lingers on each of you.
We did have a little bit of an encounter with some strange crystals. That might be it.
strange crystals.
Yeah, they were claiming they were a dragon.
Do you have any such crystal on you now?
Asher will say no because she does not believe that we do. But I know for a fact Sire and Atticus have rings. But she'll say, no, I don't have any.
I did have a piece of that crystal actually, but I sold it.
Oh, did you sell that ring?
Not the ring, but I had a chunk of crystal from the amethyst thing that we smashed.
Oh, I didn't know you took crest. Oh, okay.
It is
surprising amount of dragon activity going around.
It is the same everywhere.
Where is everywhere? I thought you were tired of this place. Seemingly you've spent a time here. Do you have news from all around?
He's clearly thinking something over. Very far away. What is the furthest from home each of you have ever been?
Oh, that's easy. Athkatla, probably. Oh, maybe actually the Cold Mountains. I don't know where that was on the map.
So
Tibbin probably wouldn't know either.
a matter of miles.
I mean, maybe in the hundreds, but yes.
I come from somewhere farther than this. A different land entirely, by which I came here via magical means.
Hey, Jim, can I just ask what the probability of this guy forcing drinks on other people's is?
What?
Is
Does he
it
just
that
give you that
dude
vibe?
from World of Warcraft where he's like, drink?
I thought you meant it like a Bill Cosby way.
No, that necromancer.
No, he's
Orc
not.
from
He's
WoW.
not. He's not Gul'dan. No. I'd have to amp his voice up to 20 if it was Gul'dan. Yeah, and everything he said would be drink, Hellscream.
Everything gives way to the fell.
Yep.
All right, just
although
double checking.
when I pull the name out of thin air, Gorabal is from World of Warcraft, though. That's the giant sword stuck in the planet currently.
Oh, okay.
But I should also clarify, no, he's not from Azeroth. This is not a World of Warcraft crossover.
So, like what? Chult? That's what Asher will actually say.
A different world in the material plane. Who is the most learned among you? He doesn't look over at Atticus. No, Atticus has not been obnoxious to this person.
I'm trying really hard because I'm pissing off everyone I've ever met, and it's getting old. Maybe that's growth, but I mean,
Honestly,
I think if you're looking
Asher
for
will
learned,
look towards you.
I don't think any of us are very learned. Atticus
No, I'm
has
for
at least
sure
had.
looking towards Atticus because you're a rich kid. You would have had like
He
tutors and
has
stuff.
had an education, however, he did not pay very much attention to that education. Atticus would look at Asher.
Obsidian is just sure that it's not about him, but he doesn't look to anyone in specific. Just anyway, that's not a question to me then.
Have you any familiarity with the Shadowfell and the domains of dread
I mean, my father was a
No?
paladin. But I'm sure that they've been mentioned at some point, but I don't have, I don't know a lot of detail. Does he give
Nice.
me the side eye when I say that?
I serve the Order of Icarus, and was bidden here through domains in the search for this stave fragment. They are scattered across many such worlds.
So you came all the way here for a bit of broken staff?
Indeed, because my master bade me so.
Yeah, all right. Well, lucky for you that we came along. Now we're a team with the same goals.
Indeed, raising an army was taking time.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Was
sorry about that.
was that all of it?
A smile curls. As I said, I had been downstairs.
Is there anything else of interest down there? Other than
It's
corpses?
gonna dawn on Asher that in churches there's usually catacombs underneath.
Do not be alarmed. Remember, I have sworn to aid you. And you start to hear the pouring of water from around the corner where you came from, and a couple of other shudders from the building.
Yep, there it is.
As lumbering up, almost pouring up the stairs from the catacombs, just sort of pushing and dragging itself. Probably not as many gravestones. We'll say it rolls around outside the upper tombstones. But yeah, a large corridor-filling entity of corpse and sarcophagus, which, with a nod from Gorobal, just forces itself through the doorway and stands in the hall and waits. Yes. Useful.
I see. Yes, we had, in fact, heard of your. It was referred to as a bone ball, but I guess that's what they were referring to.
Bone ball.
I think so, if I'm remembering correctly. But I mean, we heard this from a goblin, and not the most eloquent or reliable of storytellers.
I have been to over 10 different worlds now, and I tell you this, goblins are always the same.
Good to know.
Where go you from here?
Preferably into the land of dreams for a moment.
Well, yes, we do need to make camp for the night. Unfortunately, we do require sleep.
Yes, of course. I had forgotten.
And then onwards, there is a manor, I think. That's not here, right? This is the temple. I think there was also a manor of some kind that the goblins perhaps sometimes hang out in. And then ultimately the goblin lair, cave, hideout, old mine shaft,
I think this has merit. If you are willing to wait, well, whilst you take your sleep tonight, I will contribute the tools you wasted today. I will commit them to the golem. And then,
Very well.
if we make short of the goblins at this manor, there too shall I continue to build my cairn. And when we arrive at the dragon, we will be all the better equipped.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I must speak with my master a moment.
Oh, right. Of
Very
course.
well. It is decided. Like, no time passes. He consents to this partnership. This is good.
All right, cool. I know you don't sleep, but there perhaps a place that's maybe a little drier than the others that we can maybe set up camp?
This is the driest. This portion here. There isn't.
Okay.
There is an out. There is a storeroom outside, but it is filled with. Well, unless you already went in there, have we disposed of those also?
Nope, haven't been anywhere else.
He just raises a hand and clicks his finger. And a few moments later, or a minute or so later, a slow, shuffling band of undead enter and just linger, just standing there, idle, near the golem. I shall begin with them, then. Is there anything else you need of me before you take your rest?
No, I think that's it.
Our union is new and likely fragile. It will not offend me if you wish to perform defensive wards around yourself this evening.
All right, good
Understood.
to know.
I mean, you two are bound by. Are you two bound by the promise, or is that only Asher?
We all here have sworn in the presence.
I see. Good to know. Well, then I'm sure it'll be fine.
Asher would go out and collect our other two party members, assuring Rio that it is safe, and then come back in here, and she's gonna like flop out her bedroll kind of next to these overstuffed chairs out here.
Yeah. And he just Gorbal just kneels down, opens the chest, gets like the ash and just like rubs it in his palms and just like smears it on his face.
Cool.
You, knight,
Yes.
do you have a spare cloth?
Cloth. I mean, I have. Let me see here.
Or any manner of garment?
I will produce some common clothes from my backpack.
My gratitude. And he wraps the flail head in it and takes it up the chest and stows it in a small bag. If we are to leave, I shall bring this with me.
What is that,
talks about-
may I ask?
A relic I was most fortunate to come across when I first arrived on this plane. A fragment of a weapon of great renown, even so that it is written about, and my master keeps books on it. It is called the Flail of the Ages.
Sure would be nice to have a amazing weapon like that?
Does your world speak of the 5-headed dragon queen?
That's Tiamat, right?
Indeed. It is said to be a weapon made either by her priests or in her honor. A flail of 5 heads. 5 potent elemental energies. The heads are said to scatter over the eons, to be brought together for great purpose under a great smith. I consider my finding this flail head so soon after my arrival here a good augur of my lord's mission.
Where did you find it?
With somebody who did not want it as much as I, evidently.
Fair enough.
A small coterie of local knights attempted to apprehend me after I arrived. One of them carried this.
Doesn't really look like the kind of thing that you personally would like to wield, you know?
I have no need of swinging lumps of metal, but many in the order will. And its magics alone merit study and better understanding.
And are the other heads of this flail, are they on this plane, or are they also, like the staff, scattered across realms and planes?
When they appear, they all appeared on one plane.
I
Well, they
see.
may be many hundreds of kilometers apart.
Curious. Magic items and magic itself truly is barely knowable, a mystery in many ways.
Absolutely, make an insight check, please, Monkey, as he smiles and nods. For a newly anointed practitioner, you speak with wisdom beyond your experience.
I suppose my patron grants me some boons, I suppose. Maybe wisdom is one of them.
And your patron drops the voice, is draconic. It is stronger on you than the others.
You know, that wasn't my original understanding, but I suppose that is. I suppose so, yes.
Troubling for you.
Perhaps.
Never to be trusted. Dragonkind.
I'll bear that in mind.
See what you do. It may cost you dearly. But you do all have the taint.
Right. What do you guys think? Shall we try and get some rest?
Yeah, Asher's just been kind of listening with one ear from like barely out of the room while she sets up her bedroll. She's already on it.
Okay. Oh, the water comes all the way through to here as well. Excellent. Oh God, Bone Ball. Actively, there are ghouls and undead here. This is a horrible place to sleep. Yeah, you wouldn't awfully mind like sending all the your servants elsewhere for the night, like outside or down into the crypt or something?
Well, I shall be reconstituting them here while you rest.
Right, okay.
The
Sure.
golem is more useful to me than a meandering group of rotting flesh.
Sure, of course, yeah.
If we feed the beast, it may even be able to grapple this dragon for you.
That would be certainly a boon. And yeah, Atticus will go and like get out his bedroll and stuff.
Don't know why you linking the bedroll gave me the DM receive noise. It did
Are
the
you
little...
sure that wasn't me literally going?
Oh, yeah, okay. It came. I thought it was Discord chat, founder chat. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So as you attempt to sleep, you hear occasional horrible flesh noises and the sound of obvious magic taking place. And occasionally, even though, like, if you were to look at him, you see no such hammer, there is quite often the sound of, like, a forge master's hammer and a glow of pale blue light. And each time, like, one of the undead is violently absorbed into, just like osmosed through into the golem's body, which always seems to grow ever so slightly and shift. And yeah, after a period of, by the time around an hour has passed, the group of undead that were still standing have gone, and the golem seems all the bigger for it. And then Gorabal, and unfortunately much more noisily, the golem almost certainly wakes you all up, but in a non-long rest interrupting way, moves through and just noisily begins like walking around through the water, dredging up all the undead remains that you had destroyed. And there's just, yeah, it is not the most pleasant night's sleep you've had as you hear all this flesh and bone breaking and being consumed.
This is gonna cause some weird dreams.
Is there anything that anybody wishes to do during their night?
What did he? Where did he put the flail head back in the trunk, or has he
He
kept
has
it
it
with
on.
him?
He has it on his person now.
Okay.
But yeah, in that case then, you may all receive a long rest, which I will now prompt. Oh no, what's happened here? Why has it done that? Why has it prompted everybody in the world? For some reason I wiped the heal list one time, and now it's gone really weird. Let's have a look. Obsidian, Asher, Atticus, and Sire. And then let me see if I can add. I can't add Arena to it. Okay, that's weird. Anyway, new day, long rest, go. Should have prompted you all.
What is this location called?
What, as in where in the world?
Like I've listed it as a temple or like a
It's a
ruin or...
ruined church. So, early morning creeps in. Oh. Thanks for the rest, motherfucker. Yeah, the morning comes and you are definitely aware that the golem seems larger.
Is Clorag looking any better?
Oh, yeah, he is, but he doesn't get the usual thing. I'll sort... Stick Chlorag and Irina, healing rules, and heal. I'll put my to-do list. You are awake then.
It would appear
Good
so.
morning.
Do you require to break your fast?
I should think we do, yes. We've got a busy day ahead.
I don't mind eating on the way.
Efficient.
Yeah, I can chew while we walk.
There was a cat that entered during the night. I have acquired it, if you wish, for fresher fare.
Oh, I got my rations, but thank you though. Very kind.
Good job, Sirez.
If you've already acquired it, maybe you can just go with your golem buddy there. Unless, of course, Obsidian, you want it.
It still lives. I would rather not kill it. It could give nothing to the golem, but if you lacked for rations,
Oh no. I'm good. Thank you though.
then I shall just let it linger here. Yeah, he turns, and I'll give to you that you see a very obvious, somewhat confused raccoon that is on one of the desks.
Oh, in that case,
Then shall we to your goblin manor?
Yeah, let's go. Rio or Chlorag, you're gonna have to help us lead the way.
Both of them nod. Rio is like, I remember the way. I'll show you. I'm very helpful. Always very, very helpful.
You better be
You
Rio.
super are, buddy.
the more helpful you are, the less bone ball you are.
Oh, God. Before we depart, Sir Knight,
Horrible.
my liege spoke to me as you slept and told me that you carry a magical item of some interest to him.
Is that so?
Your wand that peers through the weave. Would you be interested in selling it or making a trade?
I've considered it in the past, so I'm certainly not closed off to such an idea should the right offer present itself.
What do you care for? Magic? Gold? Or other gifts?
What do you mean when you say magic? Do you have the ability to bestow magic?
There are trinkets, but there are also techniques that could be taught, gifts that could be given. Something to perhaps ruminate on as we walk.
Sure, sounds good to me.
He nods. And shall we be about the business of murder?
Let's hop straight to it. Another good day for fighting.
And yeah, this golem just...
Oh, quick, it's coming.
And yeah, as you set off, a little earlier than usual, but narratively appropriate, I think, we will call it there for tonight. As you set off from the flooded church, heading towards the old goblin manor. But yeah, that was us. If you've watched this VOD, apologies for how short it is because I fucked up the sound for our entire combat. But we will be back next week with appropriate sound. And we'll catch you later. Bye.